Hello, everyone. Good morning. Waiting for people to join. There we go. Hi, everyone. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Glasses to see. Hello. Hello, everybody. It's been a while since I did a live. Welcome, Eric, for arriving. I wanted to share something that was, I woke up this morning probably around I don't know, I guess I woke up around 4 or 5 in the morning. And I had this really, good morning. Hi, Netherlands. We've been in hermit mode. Yeah, it's totally what I wanted to talk about. So lately, the last couple of days, I have been, first of all, it's good to be with you guys. Hi, Denmark. Hey, Sue. The last couple of days, I've been tapping into this global energy, right? I've been feeling into this planetary collective energy. And it's been so difficult for me, and I do this all the time, right? I just sort of energetically tap in and kind of feel what's going on collectively on an energetic level, what's going on the planet. And it's been really, really difficult to describe this energy, and I've been trying to figure out ways to understand it in my mind, because it feels as if it's twofold. I just did a video on it. It's twofold. One, it feels as if humanity has sort of gone back to sleep in a way, right? It feels very quiet, kind of like a calm before the storm type of feeling. Like as if nothing happened the last 2.5 years, in a way, as if everything's okay and good. And it's almost like we have forgotten, many of us, kind of what we've gone through, right? And on one level, I understand that we have PTSD. We have PTSD. We've been severely traumatized, and we're exhausted. So there has been this collective awakening in the outside world, right? And the analogy is sort of like we've been on the battlefield, and so many of us, not all of us, but so many of us have been in a state of battle where there's a lot of energy being thrown out into the external world, trying to survive, trying to figure out how to get through this, how to navigate this. So it's been very external. And imagine being on a battlefield and fighting for days and days and days. It's going to be exhausting. And so this energy that I have been picking up on, and it's like there's this quiet. So imagine you walk onto a battlefield, okay? And it's eerily quiet. Let's just imagine that there's debris of a battle, but there's nothing around, right? You're like, wait, this is really weird. What is this? I feel like something intense just happened, but there's nothing here. No one's around. But I can feel that something intense just happened. That's the energy on the planet right now. For many of us, and it's definitely what I am feeling. And the reason that this is so important to understand is because this calm before the storm is so important. because we have to rest. And many of you are going to say, well, I've been resting for 2.5 years. And I would say you haven't really been resting. You've been battling against an external world, trying to figure out how to survive. You started seeing things that you didn't know were there. You started recognizing that there was mind control and manipulation and fear tactics. So there was this, yes, it got quiet in your world perhaps, but there was still an external thing that you were kind of fighting against, okay? And energy you were moving outward. This evolutionary shift in consciousness that you're going through, that the entire planet is going through, it is an entire planetary evolutionary shift in consciousness. It has to be experienced both externally and internally, okay? Which means that we have to see the external world crumble. We have to see the internal world crumble. And there has to be moments for both to happen. And so what is happening right now is we are in a phase of rest. The battle has sort of quieted. Now, a lot of countries, even the United States, people would say it hasn't quieted. And I would say it has quieted on a collective level. People are not in the same states of freak out as they were 2 years ago. That is not to say that there are not horrific things happening all over the world right now. There are. There will continue to be. But on a global scale, we are not where we were 2 years ago in this fight or flight mode, this panic, this fear, this am I going to live? Am I going to survive? We're not there. It's not to say that there aren't people and countries and states and whatever that are there. I'm just saying collectively on the battlefield. What is being allowed for us right now, the phase that we are in right now is a rest phase, a quiet, an eerie calm, so that we can go inward. So that when the next global battlefield comes out, which it will, there will be another global battle that we will be on, where the entire planet is being hit by something. And we have to be more prepared on a collective consciousness level than we are right now. And so what's happening is we are being gifted an opportunity to sort of regroup and go inward. This time that has felt blah or felt boring or felt lonely or felt like nothing was happening, you have no purpose. There's like a stall in your life. These moments have been the opportunity to rest, to get sleep, to nourish yourself, right? But on an energetic level, it's about clearing out trauma. It's about recognizing how you show up in the world. I don't care how awake you are to the systems out there. I don't care how much you shout from the rooftops, the corruption and the evil and all of that doesn't matter if you can't show up on the battlefield in a higher state of consciousness. Are you continuing to perpetuate divide? Right, wrong, I'm right and you're wrong. Not right, wrong in terms of that's not okay to do. Right, wrong in terms of I'm right, you're wrong. Hierarchy, I'm better than, you're less than. Trying to literally force somebody to change as opposed to changing them based on you just being who you are. Understanding how to be sovereign, how to be empowered, how to use your voice without projection. Right? How to stand in the battlefield without using defense mechanisms that you've learned your whole life. This is an energetic battle. It is not a physical battle. This is an energetic battle. And if we show up in the same states of consciousness that we were in 3 years ago, we're going to have the same results. We want better results this next time. We want to be able to navigate this in a way where we are not fooled in the same sense. And it's all about changing your internal status, your internal frequency, your internal awarenesses. And the only way you do that is by clearing out the trauma. And the only way that you clear out the trauma is that you feel everything. You become the observer. You recognize how you treat people. You recognize your judgments. You recognize your limiting beliefs. You recognize all the thoughts that are controlling you. You recognize what you identify with. So these moments where we are being asked to go inward, it's an extremely important time, because when the next loud boom comes for the collective to awaken, which will come again, we will be able to rise up from our rest, put on our battle equipment, and we'll be able to stand on the battlefield in a much more empowered, sovereign, powerful, loving, compassionate, and empathic way. That is the evolutionary shift in consciousness. And so many of us are missing this piece. We are bitching and moaning and complaining either about how boring life is, or we're bitching and moaning and complaining about the external world. You know, it doesn't matter how aware you are of the corruption. It doesn't matter how many rabbit holes you've gone down, how many red pills you've taken. That doesn't matter if you're not shifting your internal terrain, if you're not shifting your own trauma. Because all you're going to do, believe it or not, is if you don't go inward, if you solely focus on the corruption and the bullshit out there and the evil and the mind control and all of that, if you're only solely focusing on that, then I promise you, on a frequency level, on an energetic frequency level, when you go back onto the battlefield, when the next big thing comes, because it hasn't come yet, it's not COVID, it's not the vaccines, it's going to be different, it's going to be big, it's going to be global. When it comes, and you step back out on the battlefield with everyone, and you're still playing from a state of consciousness that is yelling and berating and, and in trauma, because you didn't use those last couple of years to heal your trauma, you are perpetuating the same systems that are controlling you. You're perpetuating the same fears that you're trying to get people to wake up out of. You're perpetuating the same divide that you are trying to get people to step out of. If you're somebody that is telling truth all the time, but you think that your truth is the highest truth and everybody else is wrong, that's a divide. You're literally holding a frequency that is in the same frequency as the systems that you're trying to get people to step out of. This is what people don't get. This is why this time right now feels so strange, because there's a part of me that's like, fuck, did we squeeze all the juice out of this rest? Did we squeeze all the juice out of this rest? How many of you, and you guys have all done such a fucking amazing job, such an amazing job. So many of you deserve a round of applause. I mean, everybody deserves a round of applause and a standing ovation for how they navigated this. But we have got to wake up and remember what this is about. We have to wake up and remember that this is not just about going inward and solely focusing on your own shit or trying to get people to wake up. It's about both. If you're not shifting while you're simultaneously staying aware of what's going on, you will perpetuate what's going on. If you're solely focused on what's going on, right, and you're not focused on shifting internally, you'll perpetuate it. The power is in keeping your eyes open to what's going on in the external world, continuing to keep your eyes open, continuing to say, shit went down for 2.5 years. Massive genocide is happening right now on a level that would blow our minds. Can I keep myself open to that while the world seems to somehow think that it's just continuing to move forward? And I go as inward as much as possible right now because it's a little bit quieter than it was 2 years ago. So there's some pause in time for me to go inward and for me to navigate the ways in which I have been in this world? How can I show up in even higher versions of myself? It's not just about what can I manifest? How can I bring in my partner? How can I find the job that I love, right? These are all parts of the human experience. But what the cosmic joke is that it's not truly about that. It's not really about all the things that you're trying to intend and all the amazing ways that you're trying to live life. Yes, that's a byproduct of why you're here. But the reason that you are on the planet and in your physical body is to go through and to assist in this massive planetary shift in consciousness. The reason that you are here is to stand in the battlefield and then to rest, and then stand in the battlefield and then to rest. And so every single thing that you are going through right now is a preparation for you to be able to navigate this. And then all the little toppings on the sundae is the beautiful gift of being in the physical reality. Right? It's a multi-dimensional juggling act. Right? So you are simultaneously recognizing that you're none of this. You're not the battle, you're not the battlefield, you're not the human. You're not the trauma. You're not all of these like ways in which you are learning how to navigate and dissect, the you that you think you are. So you're becoming aware of the fact that none of this is actually real. And yet all of it's real. All of it's physical. All of it's intense. There is a divine reason for being here. There is a divine design to all of this. This is an experiment. This is a massive experiment. This is an experiment on consciousness in physicality. And this is why you're here. This is a deep, deep remembrance in a physical world that is so dense that remembering any of it is almost impossible. So there's all these layers, there's all these frequencies, there's all these like dimensional realms that we're learning how to stand in. And what's happening to so many of you right now is that the volume in your internal world is turning up. I promise you, if you are only focusing on the external, if you're only focused on the corruption, if you're only focused on And a lot of people will stay focused on the external. They'll stay focused on just simply spewing truths out there because they don't want to go inward. You have to go in. You have to go so deeply in that you break down, that you die, that you crumble. If you're solely focused on the external, you're missing the point. And if you're solely focused on your internal, you're missing the point. This is an external and internal planetary shift. They go side by side. You could be the most evolved human on the planet. And if you aren't simultaneously recognizing what is happening externally, there were many, quote unquote, sort of spiritual teachers, very what you would consider evolved spiritual teachers, that showed at themselves and continue to show themselves as part of the systems that were collapsing. It's sort of mind-boggling. Like, how can you have such a deep internal awareness of this spiritual realm and still buy into the systems that were collapsing out there? And then you'll see so many amazing, powerful truth people, right, that are just spewing the most amazing information. And yet they have so much anger and rage and fear and divide inside of them. You have to be able to merge both. This is the evolutionary shift in consciousness. This is why it is so freaking intense. Because your job, okay, your job, let me just show you what your job is as human. is to not only start to open your eyes to the massive, massive corruption, evil, mind control, manipulation, coercion, greed, control that's being played out on the planet. That's mind-blowing. But you are also here to go inward and look at all of the programming and trauma and ways in which you have survived in this world, and start dismantling all of the ways in which you have shown up thinking it was you, all the limiting beliefs, all the emotional states, all the fear, all the abandonment, all the physical, emotional, mental, spirit, sexual abuse, all of that you have to look at. Okay, so let's recap. You're looking at all the insane, evil shit happening on the planet. You're now looking at all of it. Every single part of you has to be shown to you. And then on top of that, you have to live life. You have to go to work. You have to pay your bills. You have to navigate relationships. You have to take your children to a school that you may not want to take them to, or take them out of school. You have to take care of like what's going on in your body and your health, right? You have like the insanity, that the complexity of this journey is really intense. And it's so powerful and beautiful. It's such a gift. It's such a freaking gift to be here. It's such a gift to be able to touch another consciousness physically. When you hug someone, you're hugging consciousness. When you grab someone's hand, you're grabbing consciousness. You're literally able to touch consciousness. And we take this for granted because we see another human as human. Oh, it's just a human. I'm just hugging a human. No, you're hugging consciousness. Do you understand how powerful that is? When you smile at somebody, you're smiling at another consciousness. You're smiling at another light that came in to play a part in this massive, fucked up evolutionary shift in consciousness. When you look at a car, you're like, holy shit, that's how humans get around. You look at a bicycle, you're like, oh my God, look at this bike. You look at a dog, you're like, holy shit, that's a dog. Like, that's another consciousness, right? You go out in nature and your awareness shifts and your lens shifts. You're like, oh my freaking God, I can literally move out and stand next to a tree and everything shifts in me. This is what life is about, while you are also simultaneously on a battlefield, taking a rest from the battlefield and experiencing a physical reality. Right? And remembering all these pieces. One of the things that when I channel spirits, right? When I channel humans that have passed, humans that have died. Okay? The last person I channeled was Loretta Lynn. Don't even ask. She's a country singer. I didn't know. Anyway, the number one thing she said was the gift of touch. Don't lose the gift. Don't forget how powerful it is to touch another human. Right? That it's the simple things in life like that are so powerful. You know, and the other thing she said that was so powerful was, your voice matters. You matter. You actually matter. You actually make a difference. You make a difference. And don't let days go by, months go by, years go by where you are not using your voice. It is such a waste to come down onto the planet and to let jealousy, insecurity, unworthiness, fear, all of these things stop you from using your voice. Stop you from making the impact that you're here to make because you're afraid, because you don't think you can, because you don't think people will listen. Fuck all of that. That's an illusion. I'm not ready yet. You're never going to be ready. And you can make an impact in your child's school. You don't have to be somebody that makes I'm not talking about doing some sort of spiritual work. I'm talking about you being you on the planet in your most authentic way. That's how you make the most impact. Who are you? What do you believe? What is your truth? How do you want to show up in the world? Your truest expression. And if you quiet yourself enough, you'll find it. Every time you get pulled through social fucking media into some other person's world, and then you feel insecure, and then you feel jealousy, or you feel unworthiness, or you feel like you can't do blah, 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 or you can't say blah, blah, or you go out in the world and you see all these people that seem to have it all together and you don't think you have it all together, that's an illusion. That is not real. None of that's real. I can promise you that you came here to make a massive impact. I promise you, I don't care who you are, what you look like, how much money you have, if you live in your car, if you live with your parents, I don't care. There is not a single person that's listening to this that did not come here to make a massive impact on the planet. Now you are going to say to yourself, well, an impact means ... You're going to have a story to that. What's your story around how you're here to make an impact? Throw that story out the door. The way that each of us makes an impact is that we understand who we are. Who are you? Meaning, now that's an illusion as well. Okay, so we can go deep into, well, you're not really who you think you are. True, got it. But let's just play in the world of the physical human. Who are you in here? What's your truths? What is your absolutes? What do you like and not like? What do you love and not love? What do you like to do? What do you not like to do? Where does your joy come from? These simple things that you can ask yourself is how you find you again. It seems ridiculous, but we are so deeply programmed. And we are so afraid of being who we are because we have been programmed to not be who we are in life from a very young age, that we have been what other people want us to be most of our lives. We have shown up the way we have been told to show up. And these are subtle. A lot of you guys are going to say, no, I don't do that. And I would beg to argue. Pay attention to how you show up in your deepest, most intense relationships. Pay attention to how you feel and think when you're dropping your children off at school or when you're walking into work. This programming is so deep that it is so subtle the way it shows up. And the more that you can quiet yourself, find your breath, and refocus inward. So it's almost like you take this lens and you just go in. Who am I? What do I like? What do I love? What do I want? What do I not want? What do I believe? How do I want to be in the world? The more that you will be able to find contentment, peace, happiness in the midst of the chaos. Because I'm going to tell you guys something. I don't care who you are. We are all on the battlefield. Now, granted, we're sort of in a pause. There are some of us that are still on the battlefield, like keeping a lookout, right? You know, the ones that are continuing to share about everything that's happening, right? There's a lot of us that are still on the battlefield. They're not resting for some reason. A lot of us are resting in the trees and in the forest, and we're just kind of chilling and taking a rest. And we're like, what the fuck are they still doing out there? Jesus Christ. Let's rest for a second. Hold on. Like, don't you want to just chill for a little bit? You know, aren't you tired? Haven't you had enough for the last couple of years? And they're like, no. You know, they're just continuing to work, right? So be it. So long as you're doing the internal work, you better be freaking doing the internal work, because you're not going to make it through, and you're only going to be perpetuating, right? You have to be doing this internal work in order to be able to navigate what is arising. But the reason that we are being given these moments right now, these pauses, these eerily quiet spaces, is not to go back to sleep, is not to forget what has happened, is not to be ignorant to what is currently happening. Nothing has changed from 2 years ago to today. The mind control, the corruption, the mass genocide, the lies, the greed, it's all still happening. None of it's gone away. It's just that the natural progression of evolution is like a wave, okay? It comes and goes like in an ocean. It's not a perpetual wave that doesn't stop. The wave crashes, we chill for a little bit, and then another wave comes. So we're in between waves right now. It feels a little bit more calm. But there is another wave coming. We are in an ocean. We are the ocean. We are the shift. We are the evolution. And we have to be shown the waves in order to recognize what we are in. And if you think that because the ocean feels somewhat calm right now, that there is no evil and corruption and mind control and somehow it's just gone away, or somehow, something like I don't know what humanity's thinking right now. I really don't. I know we need a timeout. I know we need to rest. I know we need to go inward. But it doesn't stop the genocide that's happening. It doesn't stop the evil. It doesn't stop the mind control. It doesn't. If we're not capable of recognizing and continuing to stay in a remembrance phase of what happened and what we went through. The powerful part of PTSD, which most of us have, whether we want to believe that or not, is that PTSD is not something you realize you have. Okay? And what PTSD does is it's like a survival state. You don't want to remember. You don't want to go back. You don't want to feel what it was that you experienced for the last 2.5 years. And so there's this illusion that all is well. And then something will pop in. Somebody will say something. Somebody will send you something, right? And there's this immediate no. You freeze mode where you go into you just push it away, right? Or you get really angry, or there's not a capability of just being like, oh, let me see, like a calmness, right? We want to ignore, we want to pretend, we want to push away. Like, I know it's happening, but I can't look anymore, that kind of thing. And this evolutionary shift on the planet is a marathon. It's not something that happens overnight. We don't just fix it. We don't just shout from the rooftops for 2 years and then we're done. And I think that's also what has happened to so many of us, is we've realized, holy shit, we just went through a massive battle and we're still on the battlefield. Nobody's coming to get us. There's no helicopters. There's no tanks coming in. We're not going anywhere. There's nowhere to hide. There's no one that's saving us. And there are more battles to be fought. And that awareness can be simultaneously frightening and exciting. And I think that's where humanity is at right now, is this awareness that not much has changed. We still have to go through a lot. And then you're going to ask, someone's going to say, why do we have to go through this? Why do we have to go through this? This is an evolutionary shift in consciousness. And what that means is evolution is going from one state of being to another. Shift is shifting. The lens shifts. Consciousness is energy. So your energy, your frequency in your body is shifting from one state to another state to another state to another state. It's all energy. And it's not you that is shifting. The you that thinks it's shifting is consciousness. It doesn't need to shift. It's not evolving. You are not evolving. You are a consciousness that is in a car experiencing this evolution. What is evolving is the physical body's frequency. And when the physical body's frequency shifts, the awareness shifts. How you show up shifts. The lens you use to see the world shifts. That's evolution. You are not evolving. The car is the body. The car is shifting frequencies. The car is shifting vibrations. You're a passenger or a driver in the car, except that you're not really driving. You're just participating. You're experiencing. You are literally a consciousness inside a vessel that is moving through an evolutionary shift in consciousness. It's shifting frequencies. You're looking out at a planet that is doing the same. The planet is a physical form with a consciousness inside of it. The consciousness inside the planet is like a consciousness that you and I hold, a consciousness that a dog holds, a consciousness that a tree holds. It's all consciousness, i.e. energy. The earth herself as a consciousness is not evolving. The planet as a body is evolving in frequency, in vibration, in energy. So the physical form, the planetary form, they're moving from a lower dimensional field to a higher dimensional field. It's not spiritual woo-woo. It's not like a new agey concept. It's physics. It's simply physics. That's it. A dimensional field is simply terms to describe where energy resides. It's that simple. Third dimension is not woo-woo. Fourth dimension is not woo-woo. Fifth dimension is not new agey. It's just a way of describing. It's just that the new age community has hijacked it. The new age community has bypassed the actual darkness on the planet. Right? They're trying to bypass the battlefield. They don't want to stand in the battle. They want to be over on the side and like positive think their way through the battle. And we're like, bitch, get on the fucking battlefield. What the hell are you doing? You can't positive think your way out of the battlefield, you dumbass. You're in the battlefield to battle. You're in the battlefield to engage with the lower frequencies. You're in the battlefield to shift, to look at your own trauma, to look at how you're programmed, to look at how you believe, to look at your limiting thoughts, to look at the shadow. You can go sit in the corner over there as long as you want, but you're gonna have to get into the battle with us. That's why you're here. But it feels good. It's like, why would I want to go and feel not feel good? That's stupid. Because that is the evolutionary shift in consciousness. You have to stand in that which doesn't feel good. You have to stand in the fire. You have to stand in the shadow. You have to stand in the dark. You have to stand in it. And if you know that you are none of it, what are you afraid of? This is what I can't stand about the New Age community. If you are associating and believing that you are low frequencies, that you are emotions that you don't like, that you are whatever, then of course you're going to want to change it. If you know that you're none of it, if you know that you are not high frequency or low frequency, because you're not, it's the body. That's the biggest illusion. It's one of the biggest cosmic jokes as well. That you're low frequency, that you're low vibe, that you have to change to be high vibe. That is the biggest fucking illusion possible. You're none of it. Your body is. Your body is the one that is moving vibrations and frequencies, not you. You're trapped in the illusion that you are the vibrations and frequencies that are shifting. If you know you're none of it, because you're not, if you know you're not the limiting beliefs, if you know you're not the emotions, if you know that you're not the shadow, if you know you're not the darkness, if you know you're none of it, which means that you're simply experiencing it, why would you change anything? Why would you be afraid to stand in any of it? Why? You've got to be in that high vibe. Why? Why? You got to feel good. Why? You got to stay positive. Why? Because you're associating yourself as the negative. You're associating yourself as, you're judging it. You're making it like it is you. The most empowered state that we are all designed to be in is in the middle of the fucking shitstorm, knowing that you can get, of course it's uncomfortable. Welcome to the third dimension. Welcome to physical reality. This is what we have forgotten, is that being able to feel energy is the greatest gift. Being able to feel anger is a miracle. Of course you judge rape. Rape is not good. I'm not saying you don't judge things. Of course you're going to have opinions. Rape is not good. Killing is not good. Abuse is not good. Okay, so what? You learn how to stand in all of it. You learn how to go through it. You learn how to see it, how to navigate it, how to feel it. You have to see all of it. You have to have your rage. You have to have your anger. You have to see it. Being able, this is what we also don't understand. We forgot. Being able to feel an emotion that we don't like that's uncomfortable, that we want to change, is such a gift. Feeling anger, do you understand that when you move into a really high frequency, like a spirit or a soul, right? Whatever word you want to use, you don't get to feel these feelings of anger or sadness or depression or rage or jealousy, these things we can't stand because they're uncomfortable. We forget from a higher perspective how incredible it is. Like how incredible it is. Like, holy shit, this is what anger feels like. Holy shit, this is what rage feels like. Oh my God, it doesn't feel good. And you associate yourself as it. You've been programmed your entire life to not feel certain things. That if you feel this, you're bad. If you feel this, you're not a good person. If you feel this, this means you have issues or problems or whatever that is. Right? It's true. In terms of physics, you can't tell me it's right or wrong. In terms of physics, to be able to energetically feel an energy that creates this feeling of anger is a miracle. We're so stuck in this third dimensional realm. We believe that we are everything we're feeling. The moment you realize that you are none of it, that you are simply experiencing this, is the moment you stop changing anything. It's the moment you become free. Then you're like, bring it on. What else do I have? What else is inside of me? What else is in the external world? What else is going to unravel? What else am I going to feel? What else am I going to see? Right? What else is going to rattle me or not rattle me? So we take these moments that we're in right now on a planetary scale. where it's sort of like this eerie quiet before the storm. We recognize what's showing up for you right now. What's showing up for you right now? What are you trying to change? What are you still labeling as you? Right? What are you running from? It's as simple as this. What are you trying to change? What do you want to change in your life? And what if you stopped trying to change it? So somebody asked me yesterday in my Patreon, they're like, how do I get rid of impatience? You know, I'm so impatient, I'm so impatient, I'm so impatient. What if you didn't try to change the impatience? You know, another cosmic joke that I believe is that it's in the desire to change something. It's in the letting go of wanting to change something that the change happens. Think about that for a moment. It's in the letting go of wanting to change something that change actually happens. One of the most unfortunate experiences in the third dimensional realm, which is this physical reality that we're in, is that we believe that we have to take control and change. And so we get in this cycle, right? We get in this cycle over and over and over again of constantly being in control and changing and changing and changing. And it's a lot of effort. And it's exhausting, right? You're constantly feeling like you have to change things. And the flow state, which is where we are designed to be, flow doesn't change anything. There's this state of being that I like to call active surrendering, right? And active surrendering is that you are observing everything that you are experiencing. You're navigating it based on, okay, well, I'm going to get up now. Now I'm going to go do this. You have to look for a job. Okay, I'm going to look for a job, right? You want to date somebody new. You're going to start moving towards dating. You know, you're going to put action towards things. You're going to be active in life. You're not just laying back saying, okay, life, show me, right? There's an activeness. There's action. There's one foot in front of the other, but it's in a surrendered state. So you're energetically open, you're energetically receptive, you're trusting every single thing that's coming in. You're trusting everything that's showing up. You have so much faith in the knowingness that you're constantly being shown what you need to see and that nothing is a mistake or an accident, that you allow it to be. Surrender. But it doesn't mean you just sit down and say, I'm going to do nothing because everything's happening for me. You're living life. You're taking action, but you take action and you put one foot in front of the other from a surrendered state, which is, I know that everything is happening for me. I know that everything is for my greatest good, even if I don't like it, even if I don't want it. That is the greatest gift of this entire physical illusion. Everything is happening for you, by you. Everything. Every single millisecond of your life is happening for you, by you. In order to assist you in this massive evolutionary shift in consciousness. And you don't have to agree with that. You don't have to like it. You can have your temper tantrums. But that's the natural law of physics. You are in a flow state whether you are resisting it or not. So we are all going down the river. Every single human. And it's a matter of how are you going down your river. And by the way, you're learning how to move through the river in a flow state, surrendered action, which means you're moving through the river, you're floating on your back, but you're kicking the tree out of the way, you're moving your head if it hits a rock, right? You're like, you're navigating, but you're letting the river move you, and you're in a freaking battlefield, which means that you are literally battling an energetic world Battling meaning you are shifting it. You're shifting an entire planetary consciousness. That's the evolution in consciousness. You are standing on a planet with billions of humans that have vibrations that are their own unique vibrations. The planet has a vibration. And individually and collectively, we are shifting the entire consciousness as one big cloud, as we ourselves are our own unique clouds, a cloud being a collective frequency or vibration. We're shifting an entire cloud of frequency or vibration, which is the human collective. And the only way that you shift an entire human collective, an entire cloud, is that you have to see the cloud that you're in. And the way that you see the energetic cloud that you're in is through the physical reality, which means you have to see what you are, and you have to see the people that are lying to you. You have to see the manipulation. You have to see the murdering of things. You have to see the raping and you have to see the evil over and over and over again. Because what you are physically seeing is simply an energetic expression that's in a very low frequency, that's part of the collective consciousness. It's part of the cloud. It's part of the overarching frequency of the planet. You can't not see it. And then there's more to see. And there's more to see. And it's the physical seeing of it that allows you to choose how you're going to be in it. But again, if you're not doing the internal work, if you're not shifting your own internal field, then you're going to have a very difficult time standing in the battlefield, moving in the river of flow. And this is what is so dynamic, so miraculous, so powerful about being on the planet at this time. So just remember that you are here to make a massive impact, regardless of who you are and what you think you're supposed to be doing. There is no such thing as what you're supposed to be doing. There is simply being. There is simply just being through a state of remembrance that you're so much more than this physical reality, and that you came here, you incarnated for this evolutionary shift. You incarnated to be a part of it. You incarnated to shift it. You incarnated to walk first. You incarnated to be in all of this. There are no mistakes. None. No mistakes. Consciousness doesn't make mistakes. You didn't accidentally find yourself down here. You didn't accidentally find yourself in whatever you're in. Nothing's an accident. Nothing's a mistake. Nothing's a coincidence. That's what is such a divine design about all of this. So pay attention to how you are framing your entire life right now. You're way more empowered and way more powerful than you give yourself credit for. Take more time alone. Be in breath. Who are you? What do you like? What do you not like? What do you want? What do you not want? Who are you? How are you showing up in the world? Because when the next big wave comes, we better be way more prepared than we were 3 years ago. And pay attention, because what has happened the last 2.5 years is still happening right now. Nothing's changed. Nothing. Life hasn't gone back to normal. It hasn't. That's the illusion. Oh, we don't have to wear masks. Oh, we don't have to have a vaccine passport. Oh, we don't have... That's an illusion. We are still mind controlled. We are still controlled. We are still being manipulated. All of this stuff is still happening. All of it. We're just resting right now so that we can step back out onto the battlefield and do it again, but from a higher vibrational state. Many people woke up. Waking up doesn't matter. It doesn't. Waking up is only one part of this whole evolution. What I mean by that is, yeah, people woke up and they saw what was going on, right? But it's how you are being, what are you capable of juggling throughout your day? How much can you hold throughout your day? How are you being throughout your day? How are you acting throughout your day? How are you showing up throughout your day? What are you perpetuating throughout your day? Right? This is a process. This isn't you don't find yourself awakened. Like, I made it just because I realize there's corruption. You know? There is no destination. You're going to have to learn how to juggle. Right? You're going to have to learn how to juggle. Yeah, we have to manage our position and our thoughts. How many said fuck it and went back to sleep though? A lot. Believe it or not, a lot. It's not that they went back to sleep, there's just an exhaustion. We need to rest. It's not necessarily going back to sleep, okay? It's more of, I can't take it right now. I have to rest. A lot. It's true. It's just what's naturally. It's just natural. It's just natural, you know. Like, fuck it, I don't care. Fuck it, I don't want to hear. Fuck it, I don't want to look at it. Fuck it, I don't. You know, it's okay. But at least be aware of that. At least observe it. You know, pay attention. I think a lot of people, you know, you can't always be in the state of battle. We have to have moments of rest. There's no way we can get through this planetary shift constantly in the battle. We wouldn't make it. You know? It's very, very exhausting. So, and on a completely other side note, you know, there is a lot that the physical body is having to navigate right now. You know, a lot of what I call bioweaponry. You know, I think there are bioweapons that the body is having to heal from, right? So the body is taking on new things that it's never had to take on before. And so it's much more, you'll find yourself perhaps much more exhausted physically because the body, whether you're aware of it or not, the body is trying to get rid of a lot of poisons that you don't realize your body is ingesting. There is so much happening on a molecular way that is very foreign that the body is having to absorb. So we have to trust the body. So last week I was really sick and I went into urgent care because I was like, well, let me find out if I have something that I need, you know, and I don't ever go to the doctors. But I felt like I may have like a kidney infection or something, right? Like if something just felt really, really off. My body had been battling something for 7 or 8 days and it was getting quote unquote worse. So I went in and gave them like a sample of my urine and everything came back fine, right? And I was like, great, that's fabulous. And I knew the whole time that I was sick that my body was healing itself. I trust my body so much, even though I went to the urgent care. I trust my body so much. There's still fear that comes up, right? But I trust my body so much that I know that my body is capable of healing everything. I know that. It just can be fearful. So anyway, long story short, I get a call like 2 days ago that says that I need to come in and take antibiotics. They didn't tell me why. Now I feel 1,000 times better. I have no symptoms of having any sort of infection. I'm almost practically healed. But I get a call, 3 different calls that say you need to come in. They did not tell me what I had at all. They just said you need to come in and get antibiotics. Okay, I don't feel sick. I feel fabulous. I have no pain. I have no infection in my body. I would know if I did. I don't have a fever. I don't have chills. I don't have pain. The answer is no, I'm not going to get antibiotics. Because what antibiotics do, believe it or not, is they kill your immune system. So thank God, when I went to the urgent care, I didn't get antibiotics. The body heals itself. Right now we are dealing, I'm going to get off soon, but right now we are literally dealing with a bioweaponry that is moving into our bodies, that is foreign, that is not natural. And the body is like, holy fuck, pause, time out. I don't know what this is in your body, but let me take some time and clean this out. I'm not used to this. No idea what this is. Very foreign to me, Lorie, but I'm going to get rid of this for you. Can you just chill? That's why so many of us find ourselves sick for a lot longer. And sick in ways that we never have. And sick in ways that don't make sense. I lost my voice 4 days ago, and I'd already been sick for 10 days. My voice literally disappeared, was gone. Right? It's like, wait, what the fuck happened here? So these things, we have to be acutely aware of what's going on here, right? We have to be acutely aware of what the body is doing and for us. We have to start trusting the body way more than we ever have before, right? If you move into fear and start searching externally for solutions, it makes sense. I get it. I completely freaking get it. But what if it just is the body doing what the body needs to do in order to heal? You know, I don't know. All I know is that it definitely is scary to feel bioweaponry in your body. You know, it's a whole other level of awareness when you realize that they are using bioweapons to get in. So, not to put fear into us, but this is an interesting game that we're playing. This is an interesting world that we're in right now. And what is it teaching us? That the body is way more intelligent and way more powerful than we give it credit for. And this is an energetic kind of war or battle that we're in. And the body knows how to move frequency. And you as the driver or as the passenger, the way you assist the body in moving into higher frequencies is that you feel everything. If there's anything that you take away from this live today, it's that you are not in charge of bringing yourself into higher frequencies. Your body is. You are in charge of co-creating that higher frequency by feeling everything. The fastest way into higher frequencies, which is how you actually survive this entire planetary shift, is that your body continues to move into higher frequencies, because the higher the frequency your body is holding, the less impact things are going to have on you. You are not in charge of moving into higher frequencies because you don't know how to do it. You're trying to control. I'm not going to feel this. I'm only going to feel this. I'm going to move myself out of this. I'm going to bring myself into this. You're not in charge. Stop doing that. And I can promise you, you'll move into higher frequencies much faster. And it will feel much more subtle. And you do it just by simply feeling. Just feel. feel everything all day long without attachment, and your entire life will change. I swear to you, I promise you. If you attach to it and try to change it because you're afraid that it's going to last, then you are identifying as it. Don't identify as it. I am this. I have to get rid of this. I need to change this. No. I'm experiencing this. I'm experiencing ... I don't like feeling ... This is uncomfortable feeling ... So what? Next, feel everything. Your vibration and frequency will shift in your body and increase without you doing a single freaking thing but feeling. Okay? All right. This will be saved. I'll stick it on YouTube. I'll stick it on YouTube and on Facebook, and I'll leave it up on Instagram. It's normal feeling different every day. You should feel different all day long. Like literally, the more that you raise, the more that your vibration increases in your body, not you increase, the more that the vibration and frequency in your body increases, the more you will feel all day long. Trust me. And it's not like you're trying to find a feeling. You're just simply moving through your day, recognizing and observing everything you're feeling. There are some days where you just may not feel anything. There are some days where you may, that's why, really quickly, that's why the way to feel peace, the way to feel contentment, the way to feel happy, I don't even like the term happy, I prefer like contentment, right? Is that you will just naturally start to feel these things in the midst of whatever else is going on. Everything is internal. Everything is inside of you. Nothing is external. Nothing external is designed to make you happy. Contentment, peace, is an internal job. You don't have to do anything to get there. You simply have to just be in what is. Contentment arises in all of it. Peace is here now. Happiness is here now. Freedom is here now. It's available right here, right now. You don't have to do anything to feel contentment, to feel peace, to feel free. Another cosmic joke is that you have to do things in order to free yourself. You have to do things in order to create peace. You have to move to be able to feel freedom or to be able to feel peace, or you have to get rid of people in your life in order to feel happy. No, you don't. No, you don't. No. True freedom, true contentment, true peace happens in the now, no matter what else is happening in the now. And how do you get there? You allow whatever it is to be felt. That's it. And you will start feeling contentment for no reason. You'll start feeling peace for no reason. No reason. Nothing's going to create peace for you. You're just going to start feeling contentment and peace. And you're just going to start moving through life like, fuck, things are moving about, things are happening, and somehow I'm able to drop deeper and just feel contentment. And the way that you get there is that you simply show up in life and you just trust that you're allowed to and you're safe to feel everything. You must be a farmer because you're outstanding in your field. Yeah, the peace, I feel contentment a lot of the time, even if things aren't perfect in my life. I could wake up I woke up this morning feeling a lot of anxiety. It felt really like uncomfortable, uneasy, just really strange feelings. And then I got up and got dressed, and there was this contentment that started to settle underneath it. It's hard to teach it. Will it get harder being surrounded by people if we feel more? No, it will get easier. You know, in my opinion, we're not designed to run from the world. We're designed to be able to stand in it. So you're learning how to feel more and self-regulate those feelings, which is basically just allowing them to move through you. So can you walk into a big room full of all kinds of people and all kinds of energies? And can you remain sovereign and in your own space, in your own field, while you feel everything, right? Where you're like, holy shit, this is insane. This is intense. I feel this and then I feel that. You know, this whole idea that I'm an empath and I'm not safe to be in the world and I have to protect myself is an illusion. We're all empathic. And we're all designed to be more empathic and more, meaning more energy, more energy, more energy, more energy. If you're energetic and you're in an energetic body, in an energetic world, don't you think it's going to become even more energetically intense? Like, welcome to the energetic world that looks like it's physical. It's all energy, right? So it's going to get louder. The volume's going to increase in terms of feeling more and more, in terms of becoming more and more energetic. Don't run from that. Don't make that bad. Don't make it like I have to protect myself. When you're sovereign, you realize that you don't have to protect yourself from the energetic world. Because the more that you realize that you're not the energetic world and you're simply bumping up against the energetic world like a bumper car, then there's nothing to protect yourself from. It's overwhelming when you start feeling more and more and you don't remember how the energetic world works. And you feel like you have to protect yourself from the energies that you're feeling. Yeah, it can be physical. Nauseousness, chills, restriction when you're around certain people. Maybe you get hot, maybe you get cold. It can definitely be physical, the way you feel energies, Yeah, you have to be able to understand what you're feeling, and you have to be able to understand what's yours and what's somebody else's. And you have to be able to understand how you are experiencing the energies, All right, you guys, thank you so much. I love you so much. Thank you for being here. And I'll save this. It'll be on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. And pass it on to people that you think need to hear it, that need to hear this message. Thanks for all your courageous, quote unquote, work that you are doing on the planet. You make a massive difference. No matter who you are, what you think you are, what you think you're doing, right or wrong, you are making a massive impact on the planet. Thanks.